What's happening, YouTube? This is the Hiking Viking. So tonight we're going to do a little something different. I've had some requests for a hiking gear video, so we're going to do that tonight. But first, we're beer fans around here, so I got this from Aldi. Um, I thought it was a Oktoberfest, which is a favorite type of beer of mine, but no, I didn't read it all the way through. It's actually a straight up pumpkin ale. It's good if you like that. It is straight up, woo, like pumpkin. Um, so it's not that. So anyway, we're gonna go back here, um, and got my gear laid out back here for the most part. So sorry, yes, this is my son's room. His room is nicer than mine. We always want our kids to have more and nicer stuff than we have. So, anyway, this is everything that, for the most part, I'm not going to do food. I'll probably do a whole nother video just on food alone. And some of this stuff is going to be getting replaced. So, anywho, so this is what we'll start with. So this is, of course, my pack. It is a Osprey Atmos 50. It's a 2009 model. And it's been awesome. I love it. It is kind of small. Because I don't like to go hiking in the dead of summer because I don't like to sweat when I sleep. And I just feel gross when I do it. So generally, fall, spring, winter is what I like mostly. So, because of like when you go to the Smokies or when even down in Sissy Wilderness, Alabama, I went there not too terribly long ago, but it was in late February. And I looked at the weather and it said, during the day it was supposed to be in the 70s. And it was. It was probably between 65 and 70 during the day. But at night, those may have been possibly some of the coldest nights I've ever been camping. It was in the 20s. So it was just a miserable night. But, hey, it was all right. Ran into some folks that, we're also Mississippi State fans, so it was great. So that's my pack, my tent or my shelter. It's an REI Half Dome 2 Plus. I went ahead and got a 2-man because I don't want to have multiple tents. I just needed one good tent with capability to fit me in it because I'm a big person. So a standard 2-person tent, I'm stretching corner to corner in it. So the 2 Plus adds, I want to say it's 8 inches to the length. The weight on it isn't terrible. Most of the time, like if I was going to go tent camping or tent backpacking, I'm probably going to have somebody with me. So generally the way that I do that when I partner up is one person carries the tent, the other person carries the food. Personally, I like to be the one to carry the food because every day your load gets a little bit lighter. So, hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. So for my sleep system, this is a climate insulated static V light. It's not bad. It is lightweight. It packs down a lot smaller than the pad that I had for a long time, which was an old Thermarest, like Hiker Pro. I forget. I bought that thing back in probably like 2000. So compared to that, this thing's amazing. The downside to it is my shoulder, because here's the picture of it. My shoulders actually come to the very edge of this, and I think I'm just too big for it. I need to find something with a little bit more padding to it. I do slide off of it a lot. It's not that I move around a lot. I move around trying to get comfortable. So I'm probably going to end up replacing it. The great thing about it is they're only like $75 on Amazon. And it sure beats going and getting a Ceda Summit or a Thermarest, was it Neo or Neo Air Light or something? I mean, those things are almost $200. And this thing is, $75. So it gets the job done. And it's very lightweight. It does, pack down pretty small. My sleeping bag, I've actually got it in here just to show how small it gets. But it's a REI Flash 30. And of course it's the long because I'm tall. But it does pack down really small. I always keep my sleeping bag in the bag like the storage sack that it comes with. Because you don't want to keep them compressed all the time. So I do get these for my bag, and I'm probably going to do the same thing for my tent. I'm going to get another compression sack for my tent. So that's my sleep system. I also have a Z-Rest that I might double up on with the climate the next time I go out, and never know, we'll just see. So for my cook system, my trusty Jetboil. These things are awesome. I know that, yeah, they can be kind of bulky compared to just, like a lightweight titanium pot, and then, like a, what do they call that thing? The Pocket Rocket or something similar to it by MSR. But, so far this thing has been awesome. It's never failed. Does not, wind almost doesn't affect it. I can make coffee in it, drink my coffee straight out of it, all that kind of stuff. So far, I really just make coffee with it and boil water, and then I just put the boiled water down into a container with the food. So far. And then, of course, long titanium spoon, or spork, to get down in there. A friend of mine was bashing sporks the other day on Facebook, and I kind of took offense to that almost. Just kidding, would never do such a thing. But spork is a must when you're hiking. Water, I love a water bladder because I'm almost constantly sucking water. So I don't like to stop and pull out a water bottle every time I get thirsty. I just like to keep my hose there, and I can just keep sucking water whenever I want. But this is a 2.5 liter, and that usually lasts me at least until lunch. And then I'll find a water source and refill it. But I do drink a lot of water while I'm hiking. My trekking poles, for me, trekking poles are an absolute must because my knees are shot. Actually, these are new. I got these right before I went to the Smokies this year. Black Diamond. I think the model is here. Yeah, Trail Ergo Flick Lock. So they're not the most expensive Black Diamonds, but y'all know me. Like I'm a bargain person. I found these at REI, and I had never had the cork handled ones before, and so far I like them. But these are very lightweight, and so far I'm a huge fan. For other stuff. Yeah, I know this is old school. This is my Katahdin hiker water filter. Let me set this up and I'll pull it out and show you. That goes right there. Alright. Yeah, this is pretty old school, but I went through like a 15-year period where I didn't hardly ever get to go hiking. But it's just, the same thing as they changed the name from Pure to Katahdin. So, you throw one end in the stream, the other end has that piece right there, which just hooks directly onto a standard Nalgene, and you just sit there and pump the water out. And at the time, this was probably the biggest and the baddest water filter on the market. Now everybody's going to the much smaller ones like the gravity fed water filter straight into like a smart water bottle or to a bladder, which those are awesome. You know, but right now that thing has not filtered a ton of water. There's nothing wrong with it. So I have no the only reason that I would think about replacing that is just to get something smaller and lighter, which isn't a bad idea because I don't have a lot of room in that pack. So, but I plan on upgrading my pack. I'm going to switch from the 50 and I'm going to bump up to the Osprey Atmos 65. And I'll still keep this pack. I use that to go through airports, everything else. I love it. But just something for the time of year that I go hiking mostly. Weather changes constantly, so I do have to keep more stuff. So first aid kit, I'm actually going to replace this. There's I don't know, something a little bit lighter that you know, has more wilderness survival stuff in there. This is just, you know, the bare bones basic. I always keep, even though, you know, yeah, I've got the maps and stuff on my phone, but I always keep a hard copy map wherever I'm going to go. Because, like, if you go to Sipsey Wilderness, Alabama, though, like, your phone will not work. There's no chance you're going to get a signal. So I use that. Well, at least with Verizon. I haven't tried it with AT&T yet. And I always keep a standard compass. So, and get a decent one. This one, I don't remember. Oh, this is a Suunto, I think. So, yeah, always do, you know, a hard copy map and compass and learn how to use them. So, luckily, I came up through Boy Scouts, and that's one of the first things we did was learn how to work a map and compass. So, my pocket knife, this is actually, I mean, I love Gerber and Benchmade and all that stuff, but this is just a little $20 outdoor edge I got from the Mossy Oak store down in my hometown in Mississippi. And it's very light. It holds an amazing edge on it. Yeah, and they're only 20 bucks. So if you lose it, it's not that massive of a deal. So that's what I use for my pocket knife. My headlamp is a Princeton Tech. I think I caught this on sale at Bass Pro Shops for like $20. It is lightweight. So far, I've had this light for, hang on, I want to say 5 years. And I'm probably about to change the batteries the first time. So, I do love it, but it's the Princeton Tech Remix, so it's, as soon as you hit it, it goes green. It's a hunter's light. Because they say, I don't have any proof of it, but they say that wild animals can't see green light. So, but if you press it, it goes green. Press it again, hold it, it goes white. So, and then also I'll keep, this is my bag that I use for clothes. It's just I found it actually, it's a Thermarest stuff sack. So that's generally what I use for clothes. And then I'll put like toiletries and stuff in a like a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bags are awesome, but get the heavy duty like the freezer bags. This is my food bag. It's just a dry sack, REI dry sack. This one is 15 liters. You'd be amazed at how fast you can fill that up with food. So, but they're pretty awesome because when you go to a bear bag, you know, you can, or a bear bag hanger, just put dump all your food in there, all your smellables, and then loop it around, and then put your carabiner through there, hang for your bear bag. This is what I use for a bear bag cord so far. I hadn't even unwrapped it yet because I went to the Smokies the last time and I had it just in case. And in the Smokies, all the campsites have bear bag hangers in them. So we'll move over to clothes. Base layers. So I love these shirts. I think on my video at Stillhouse, I was wearing this shirt underneath my Drake, but these are just the athletic brand from Walmart shirts, and they're like $6 or $6.50 or something. They're not going to last for forever, but it's less than $7 for a decent moisture wicking shirt. Um, and I think this is my second one, so I'll probably end up getting a few more. Underwear, I wish I was one of those that my thighs didn't touch and I could go commando, but I'm not. So I go to Costco and I get the 3 packs of the Adidas synthetic boxer briefs. I think it's like $9 for a 3 pack. And those things are, they last for forever. Socks, I used to wear Smart Wool, but now, if it's not darn tough, it's just about wrong. They have a lifetime warranty on their socks. So if they start coming unfrayed or whatever, then you just call them up, tell them you need to send some back. You'll send them there. Once they get them, they'll send you a brand new pair. They are awesome. They are not cheap, but socks, because your feet are everything when you're hiking. I mean, if you lose your feet, you just about can't do it. So if yeah, so I do spend good money on socks. A pair of Darn Toughs are about, I think each one of those I think were like $22. So that's not too bad for really good hiking socks. So pants and shorts. So these are the Ex Officio pants that I was wearing the other day. Bought these back in 2001. They're still going strong. Why replace them? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So these are the convertibles, so I can zip these off into shorts if I need to. My last trip to the Smokies, this is what I wore. The first day, yeah, I left them as pants because it was chilly. Overnight, it was really chilly. Then the next day, it warmed up, and I zipped off the convertibles. These are dedicated shorts. So I got these at Walmart. These are Wrangler, like they're stretch synthetic, and they're like $14. And so far, I've been on some day hikes with them, and I've been really impressed with them. I think I'm going to get a few more pair of them. One, they look good. Two, they're super comfortable. And then three, they are cheap. So, this is my Puffy. This is an REI 650 fill Puffy. And it's been, I didn't know much about Puffies before I bought this, because back when I was doing a lot of hiking, fleece was the big thing. And now fleece is completely obsolete, just about. Unless it's like a micro fleece. But these things, you can wad them up tiny, and they are crazy warm. So, and then on top of that, I'm going to replace my rain jacket. This is just, like a $50 Columbia. I got as a Christmas present one time. And but so far it's done well. I want to say I acquired that back in probably like, I don't know, maybe 2005 or 2006. So you're looking at what, almost 20 years old, and just this last year it started losing its waterproofing. So for the money, it's not that bad, but I do want to get something a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to go like super cheap, but I also don't want to go like Arc'teryx and have to spend $500 on a rain jacket. No thank you. I'll probably just go with like the $100 Marmot Precip or something like that. Those are pretty awesome. Boots, these are Salomon's. Forget the actual, the X Ultra. They are not Gore-Tex or waterproof. The thing I've learned about Gore-Tex and waterproof, it's good during the winter time, depending on how cold it gets, because because they are a lot warmer on the inside. So when you have Gore-Tex and waterproof, your feet tend to do a lot of sweating. Low power. So during the winter time, it it takes a lot longer for them to dry out. So I went with a non-waterproof so that these can actually dry out faster. I found these at REI at the garage sale. The one reason that I go with Salomon is because I wear a 12.5. That's my true shoe size. Very few companies actually make a 12.5. So I found these at the garage sale. I was just happened to be walking by the boots and a tag on them said 12.5. I looked and I was like, oh wow, they're Salomon, my favorite boots. And I looked at the little tag on them. Somebody had bought them and returned them the next day. Not sure the reason. They weren't falling apart. Salomon has a 2-year warranty on all their stuff, so even if they did start to fall apart, I could still send them back. But they're about a $150 pair of boots normally, and I found these at the garage sale for $40. So if you are not a REI member, you need to be one, and so that way you can go to the garage sale and get really good stuff. So these are the basics of what I take. I'll do a whole nother thing on food, and once I replace a few things like my pack and my rain jacket and probably that sleeping pad, I may do in my first aid kit. I may do another one here before too long. I'm gonna try to go on a trip relatively soon, so we'll see. It'll just be a couple of nights probably, either to the Smokies or to the Sipsies. If I go to the Sipsies, I love it down there. It's really nice. The trails are not near as well marked as you see like in the Smokies and places like that. So when I go to the Smokies, I tend to go by myself. And I did go by myself to the Sipsies, but it is, when you're by yourself down there, it can get kind of sketchy because there are a lot of river crossings. Some places the trail just seems to disappear. And if you're not awesome with your map and compass, it's very easy to get turned around down there. And since you have zero signal, I didn't get a signal back on my phone when I went last time until I was about 20 minutes from the park. So it's in Bankhead National Forest in Alabama. And it is a great place to go. So, but yeah, so this is my equipment, what I use so far, and it's constantly changing. So, but yeah, and glad I was able to get this video done for you. So y'all have a wonderful evening.